Good evening, and welcome to another Metroidvania episode of Gamehater, the show where we play our dubious games and decide how bad they are. Steve from Gamehiker, Aaron is with me.
Good evening.
Today we are hating... Oh, hey, we can go left. Plot twist. A game called Waking Mars.
It is necessary to inspect the outpost.
Yeah, and they really went into all this realistic artwork here.
It is not a strict.
Yeah, it's kind
Characters
of
are quite lively.
charming, really.
Okay. I waited this long. I guess I can wait for you to get done being really.
I think she's a little annoyed that I went to the left. But I mean, this Metroidvania, if you're not going to the left, you're not understanding the genre. How are you going to get the
Yeah,
left
I mean,
ball?
that's where you find all the cool secrets at.
Now we're underground. Yeah, so this one, I accidentally booted the game. We missed the opening cutscene. You can tell the dialogue has been riveting so far. I'm sorry I took a few seconds of dialogue away from all of you.
I mean, it was important plot points. There was a whole lot going on. I laughed, I cried, I fell asleep at one point. It was interesting.
Yeah. This dude didn't even have his jetpack. I was bored out of my mind.
I'm surprised he's starting out with a jetpack. That seems like so contrary to a Metroidvania type game that you have one already.
I mean, they even let me walk left. I could have picked it up while I was walking left.
Yeah, usually like in most Metroidvania games, it takes you like a good 6 hours before you gain the ability to go left.
You're thinking of, what was it called? Evoland.
Congratulations.
Where turning left actually was an unlockable feature.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, it was like one of the first 4 things you got, right?
Yeah, it was.
Discovered by our robotic explorer. They are beautiful and strange, but not so unlike planets.
This definitely is going to be one of those ones that really is into its own story.
Oh, yeah, I can already tell.
True. The movement is more.
And now they're arguing over whether this thing is a plant. Terms like plant and animal lose all meaning once you've gone into space.
Oh, I know, exactly. Like, everyone's always like, well, we're going to find life on other planets. It's like, well, you know what? We don't have any idea what life looks like on other planets, so...
It's just a convenient way for us to refer to them.
Vertebrates and invertebrates are one of the fundamental discriminators with larger animals.
Right.
Amani.
You get onto other planets and, you might have aliens that are made out of, rocks or...
It's covered the entire passage.
different kinds of rocks. All the types of rocks.
You know my theory. They form airtight seals to filter nutrients. You're not going to find a way around it.
They need to shut up and let me play this game. I'm sorry. You were trying to talk about alien rocks, and I was too angry to contribute.
Yeah, I hear you. He has like all the emotion, and our guy that we're playing, he's like so stoic all the time.
Yeah. It isn't that kind of racist. The black woman has all these emotions, and the Asian dude does not.
I didn't realize that was a stereotype.
Well, I'm not going to dig any further in that hole.
I felt like it was more of a gendered thing than it was a racial thing.
Go with that.
Yeah.
Point is, I'm offended. Whether my offense is misplaced and unjustified is someone else's problem. Right,
that's so okay. I'm going to be offended right with you.
I mean, really, you should be offended, but I said something offensive.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way it works.
And then I should be offended that you called me out on my offensive statement.
Wow. This is like offensiveception.
In fact, now I'm just going to say more offensive things. Okay, so I've got these seeds, and if they weren't interrupting me all the time, maybe I would have listened to their spiel about what the seeds do. All I know is right now they're not smashing anything.
Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of things to interact with. We just have this wall and these seed monsters.
So something like blah blah blah, I talk too much, and this is how you throw seeds.
Oh, you can plant them.
Okay. Are they gonna, like, eat that barrier for me?
Apparently, them existing just causes that barrier to just give up existing.
The plants are onto me. I'm not even sure they're really plants. Retreat!
So that works great. grow plants the Cerebrain open. They shouldn't stop us from
She's like, yeah, this is great. And I don't know why it works. It makes no sense whatsoever, but
Suppose we find
this is a realistic game, so we're just going to go with
That
it.
seems unlikely. Octo only encountered a couple of them this close to the surface anyway.
Attention! I have discovered a Cerebrain in this chamber.
Oh no, you're gonna point out.
Or maybe things have changed since Octo was here. Well, look, even if there are Cerebrain, we need to...
Yes. For now, that is my
I'm
responsibility.
skipping dialogue from now on. Okay.
More seeds.
I hate when games don't trust you to figure out the most basic things.
Yeah, I know. It's just so frustrating because, you know, then you don't even pay attention to the complicated instructions it gives you, and then you just end up even more behind than you otherwise would be.
Right, right. So if they had left me to my own devices, I would have just started throwing things at other things until something happened.
Yeah.
But instead, they're trying to tell me what to do, and then I'm stubbornly zoning out. And not only that, but they're like, hey, there's this barrier here that you can't deal with, and you can throw stuff that doesn't seem to affect anything. So I'm actually more prone to leaving the room. But that aside,
I have detected
they didn't need to stop to tell me that I can do it again in the next room to clear the next barrier.
Fortunate to have found him so quickly.
Yeah.
No such luck.
It's definitely at this point where you can see that, you know, they're definitely putting like gameplay to a backseat to the actual story. They're
Oh,
trying to tell.
yeah.
this signal contains a message.
Oh, I know what's up now. He's leaving behind remote camera modules. Take a look, Leon.
So this is a live transmission of something in the cave. What
Yeah,
is it?
this is... I don't think a story-focused Metroidvania is something that anyone in the history of gaming has asked for.
No, I mean, like, you get some games that, you know, they're able to, you know, get enough fun little mix in there, like the Castlevania games or Shantae and stuff like that, but never to an overwhelming amount. Like, this one's already just bombarding us.
Yeah, it's non-stop. And now they're going to tell me about this thing. Yep.
Amani, we have discovered a new life form. One that even...
Yeah, see, this is where, you know, a game like Metroid Prime is nice because
confirmed. I will
if you were interested in that creature, you have the option to find out about it. You don't have to be told about it.
Yeah, the scanner was brilliant. And I really appreciate when games do that. They make the lore and story-based stuff more of an optional bonus for people who care to look into it. I have health here.
Oh, yeah, you died. You're dead.
No, I wasn't being careful about any stalactites ever. Oh, no.
Amani, we have discovered...
This can be classified.
Affirmed.
And of course, I have to remind you of everything, so...
Right. Alright, so apparently I'm supposed to be grabbing something to research this other thing. Okay, I got it.
I don't know what you did, but
I
hey,
don't know.
it worked,
Yeah.
it worked.
I think he spat something at me. I don't know. Man, this game is losing me fast. It's not gonna let me through until I figure out what I'm supposed to be doing with that guy.
So the game starts you out where you're able to use a jetpack, but then...
This Zoa produces large... Attempt
What?
to hurdle this at a Halid. Prior research indicates they may respond...
See, it gives us these instructions of, like, throw this at Halid. We're like, what the hell is Halid?
Right. Well, I wasted that seed. So I just have to intercept. I'm sorry, you were talking about jetpacks before we were rudely interrupted by the game?
No, I just feel like the game starts us out by giving us these jetpacks, and then all we can do is, like, throw seeds.
Yeah.
It's like they can give our character a jetpack, but they can't even give him a gun. I mean, who designed this game? Was it the same people who did Jump Jet Rex? But
Except they wanted us all to hate their game.
yeah, but, I mean, he didn't have
Jump Jet Rex was amazing.
He didn't have a gun either, though.
He didn't, but he had a melee dash attack. And he could stomp people with his jet boots.
True.
Alright, so am I watering these plants? Is that... Oh yeah, look how happy that guy is.
Wow, they found a way to make a Metroidvania game into a gardening game.
And not like in a cool Pikmin kind of way.
research opportunity.
I don't want another research opportunity.
Oh, okay.
Functions for this. Hurdle it not
Wow.
just at other life forms, but also plant it into fertile terrains.
The story to gameplay ratio is unacceptable thus far.
It's like most of this stuff, you can, even if you have like a complicated thing like this and you feel like you need to explain to the gamer, the best way to do it is just do it visually. Even if it means putting stupid arrows in the background of your game.
I would take that.
Yeah, it looks kind of tacky, but it's effective.
Right. People get the point. And I don't understand what about this game could possibly need load screens.
Gotta load the audio and the story and all that stuff.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Biomass goes up with every life form created. This is the total. For Cerebrain to open.
So this is the main game. This is this is a Mars gardening game.
These Cerebrain open at Biomass 3.
This is like the whole game, I think.
I have developed
Yeah.
this interface for you to use from now
I mean, if there's a meter for this stuff, they really want us to care.
Yeah.
That would be an important tool, Art. So you detect no other...
I tell you what, though, if this is what going to Mars is like in real life, they can keep it.
Yeah, leave the Martians alone.
With your human arms.
Protocaps? Did you just invent that word?
Yes, I have a creative module.
By protocaps, you mean...
Oh, good. It has a creative module.
I'm really glad that
It's-
there's riveting character development for the Claptrap ripoff.
Yeah, it's so fun.
I wish he would talk more, so I would be more inspired to enhance the protomass. I'm sorry, the biomass.
Oh, look, you got a score up there. You're up to 45 of 90 biomasses. So it's sort of like Metroid 2, where you got to find all these biomasses. Only not fun.
Only not fun, and yeah. I can't even add to that without being redundant. Yeah, and I have to wait for these guys to spit seeds at me so I can grow more guys, to spit seeds at me so I can grow more guys.
I think I'm like fundamentally not understanding the story. Like, why are they so interested in planting all these things?
I think they're like Mars researchers.
Well, you know, if they're Mars researchers, they'd be all like, well, we gotta, you know, protect the natural biome of this world. So
That's true. They wouldn't
let's
be.
maybe not go grabbing seeds from random places and then planting them in different places where they don't belong.
Yeah.
These
that-
naturally occurring walls in the cavern are a significant part of the environment, and it would be wrong of us to interfere with that.
That does sound something a real Mars researcher would say.
Yeah.
I
And
really
yet here we are, jetpacking around, interfering.
Yep. Waiting for some Mars not plants to spit some seeds in our general direction.
You have to do it the dark blue one. What about that one right down there? Plant the water thing there, yeah?
Water thing? No, I need a plant there first.
Oh.
Hopefully they'll start spitting some seeds. Oh, okay, so I can make water guys. I stand corrected. I love how these plants have a defense mechanism of spitting their own seeds at intruders, presumably in the hopes that the intruders will have pity on them
Yeah.
and go spread the seeds around to propagate their species. Oh no, he was murdered.
Oh no, the plant died.
That's the most exciting thing that's happened this whole game. Why are these guys not spitting any seeds at me?
I don't know, but you got one still.
Seeds, boys. Okay. Oh, what a waste of everything. Oh, I wired the one guy.
There's a seed there. You got two down there, actually.
Two down here. Oh, it looks like some of them may have accidentally planted more by throwing seeds indiscriminately.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Some of them were actually throwing them exactly where. Oh wow! What?
What a disaster. So it seems like, yeah, when I water them, they'll spit out a few.
Yeah. Well, it looks like you've already opened the way up, so.
Oh, have I finally? Great.
Yeah.
Enough of that room.
I have discovered a print created by Octo's appendage.
Makes sense.
What the heck is Octo's appendage?
I
Who
think it's
cares?
some lost robot.
Unfortunately, this roof has since collapsed.
Oh no, the roof has
The
collapsed.
outpost for the digging tools? Those things are amazing.
Our drone has been sealed off.
Amani, I'm not blocked. There is an opening overhead.
Oh,
Look at his character. He's actually making a different
Ooh, yeah.
emotion. He's looking up now.
This area contains strongly acidic vapors.
If we get far enough in this game, he'll like change his emotion until we see like slightly less frowning.
I like how he was stuck in that pose for another dialogue. It ends with like his birthday, and his partner gives him some cake, and it's like the best day of his life. And he gives this coy half smile because he's not going to sit there emoting like a chump,
Yeah.
no matter how good the cake is. Digging the cave in, at least that's kind of like something's happened. Don't stop and tell me about acid. I'm happy to watch out for acid. Yeah.
Hey,
it hurts.
boss. So acid. Acid is a thing that when you touch it, you get burned. Did you know that?
Thank you. Needed to hear it.
Oh, look, a plant you can interact with.
I need some stuff. Need some stuff planned. I have to figure out how to deal with acid.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that I think there's no real enemies to fight in this game. It's all just environmental stuff to deal with.
Right, which if you're gonna do that, at least go for like a horror vibe.
And not a gardening vibe.
Right.
I mean, even Pikmin has enemies.
Yeah.
Has fantastic enemies.
Because Pikmin is interested. Am I taking damage? I think these drops are actually
You are.
hurting me. Okay, I have a health meter.
Yeah, it's a health meter you can actually
Right.
see.
Yeah, Pikmin, you use your gardening skills to grow an army and lay waste to everything. Wow.
That's all you have to do is just stand on it.
Yep. You could not support my weight.
Attention! This is a previously unknown life form of Mars.
Of course.
Oh, a previously unknown life form of Mars. What, isn't that like all the life forms so far?
I would assume so.
As a waste product. Colonies
dick.
such as this grow rapidly when eating, and individuals can travel through tiny fractures in rock.
You know, I'm looking at the scanners, and I think those things are popping up all over the place.
We should murder them all
Dripping out of
and then blow up the planet.
everywhere.
What? Acid is dropping out of everywhere? Really?
I guess one of those triggered a growing spree.
That is a noteworthy sequence of events. How did it evolve this way?
You know, at the same time, when you have like a story like this in the game, you should also think, you know,
I was just thinking
this
out
story,
loud.
is the dialogue and stuff like that, would it be interesting in a movie? Because if it's not even going to be interesting in a movie, it's not going to be interesting in a game.
Yeah, that's really
So be
interesting
careful.
perspective. I think I immediately agree with you. That's a very good test. I haven't thought of that before.
Whoa. Things are all shaky and
Yeah.
such.
But unfortunately, I do think that clumsy writing is something that happens in every medium. That's not an excuse, of course.
No, but I mean, it is common.
Yeah. So there are people who don't know how to conduct that test.
Yeah. Or don't know how to, you know, conduct or, you know, convey what they're trying to say in
Yeah.
a way, you know, it doesn't take like, you know, several lines of dialogue.
Right, right. And I think where games often fail is, you know, maybe games do call for something different, in that, you know, they're often trying to convey game mechanics. Here we go. Oh, waypoints, great. Oh, and by the way, the mouse doesn't click. My controller controls the mouse, but I have yet to find a button that activates. Oh, is that the button? Left trigger? No.
Huh.
Right trigger. Okay.
You actually can backtrack. It's just like I wonder if there's like even a benefit to that.
I wonder.
Because like when I'm looking at the area, it's like I haven't really seen anything that stands out as something like, oh, this would be something you want to go back and explore later.
Right. Yeah, so where was it going? Yes. So games often, there's two kinds of communication in games. There's story communication and gameplay communication, and often they'll try to mix the two, and that's where the long, clunky, boring dialogue comes from. Right. She wants to tell me that I can throw stuff at other stuff. And instead, it's like, oh, when I was 7, my grandfather taught me that when you go to Mars, you should pick up spores and throw them at plants.
Well, I kind of dig that as a story. Someone telling you that, like, when I was 7, my grandpa went to Mars.
Right, or the other thing.
Sometimes he's gonna suck it up and just have the character NPC or whatever say, "Press A to throw an item."
Yeah, exactly. Put some text on the screen. You don't need an excuse to tell me that. I'm playing a game. I want to know the controls. So let's just get on with it.
Yeah.
I think I'm making progress.
Seems like it.
Another thing that's standing out to me immediately is there's no conflict. There's not even a hint of future conflict. And we've got this missing robot. Maybe something interesting will happen soon, but...
Well, I mean, she's getting all blurry, so...
Yeah, maybe she'll just go away.
Yeah, why'd that be something?
Ooh, dangerous.
Maybe you should just head back instead. Use your map to return to the outpost quickly. We'll regroup and evaluate.
And our character's like, dude, no, we're not gonna... Oh, they want us to actually backtrack.
Oh,
what?
Come on.
We finally get somewhere interesting, and the game's like, oh, no, let's go away.
Yeah, we can't stand for that sort of thing in this game. I keep trying to grab those poison acid things, and that's just not a good plan.
They look like something you can grab.
Oh, really? They're gonna cave me in. Yeah, they look like something I should grab. Everything else is spawning and dropping from...
That is
really? It had recently collapsed?
Correct in her assessment of the danger.
I have determined that it is 73.570%.
Oh, good. We're playing with Phi now.
It's Phi.
Then we know one thing at least. To continue our hunt, we will need to get deeper into this cave.
I will now provide hopeful information.
But yeah, another problem that comes with writing when it comes to video games is that there's this view that the longer your game is, the better.
Yeah.
And if you can fluff it up with dialogue, then it makes your game time longer.
And therefore better.
Yeah.
Especially with Metroidvanias, though, I would take a super good 2-hour Metroidvania over a drawn-out bit of nonsense like this any day.
Yeah. If it's a solid 2 hours of fun, then, I'll enjoy it. Maybe I won't be too happy about the price tag, but I'll probably come back and play it a few more times, too.
That, too, yeah. The shorter a game is, the more likely a replay is going to happen.
We've been chosen for this mission. But I am very concerned.
That's why people are more likely to say, like, I play Mega Man 3 once a year, every year for the past my entire life, than people saying the same thing about, like, Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
I used a second order approximation for the diffusion functions, which would be accurate.
Why are they still, like, communicating over
yes.
the radio or what? Oh, he smiled!
Oh, wow.
Why are they, like, using the radio still? Like, shouldn't they be, like, right in front of each other now?
Here's what it looks like now.
Alright, so we've got some kind of fungal bloom.
So for the past 8 months, the slime has been traveling through rock and reproducing. Burst of activity was caused by my actions today.
Wow, who knew that going in there and randomly planting different plants would have an adverse effect on the environment?
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't be liberally throwing seeds around for invasive species.
Yeah. If only we had sent a scientist down there.
I used the subsurface shallow radar
instead of a space botanist.
Liquid water.
Oh, I guess we're looking for water.
Oh, that's something.
Maybe a bit of ice.
An underground reservoir has simply here?
Looks that way. This is awesome, right, Leon? So much to research.
Yay, water to research.
You know, this is increasingly looking like the first half hour of a horror story.
Perhaps
Yeah, I can see that.
You know, you've got two
must reconsider our approach.
boring people doing something really boring, and things are slowly starting to go wrong. Things are speeding up on the going wrong front.
Yeah.
So now he's going to be stranded and out of radio contact with his partner for a while. But the
He must
robot's
not
still
be
gonna
on
there.
the surface. He must be like on a ship or something.
That would make sense.
Well, where'd our character go? Oh, we're in the dark.
Dark. But he's still got stuff to say.
I have discovered a fact.
Oh, good. We still have our robot thing to talk to.
Love that.
Please, be wary.
If
Yeah.
only that thing could have broke at the same time.
I agree with
Yeah, that robot is really a horrible combination between Thigh and Claptrap.
We are too deep to obtain a signal from base camp.
Oh no, no signal.
No
I
signal.
wish your natural language module was working properly.
Thank you. I am very abilities for human dialogue. Good news. Scans report that you
That was
are
a decent
awake
line.
and have suffered without permanent injury.
Is there a passage back to the outpost accessible?
People are like, yes, I know I don't have an injury. I kind of noticed that myself.
Yes, I took inventory of my body parts and they were all there.
Way out of the cave.
You no longer contain any protocaps.
Yes, but I can grow my own. Starting with just one seed, I can obtain as many as I need.
I have
Oh.
confirmed your logic.
Yeah, it's like, yes, we can make more protocap because that's how we got into this mess in the first place.
This surely will present a solution.
Scanning.
They're great at making holes in the ground.
Organic matter exhibits no current biological activity.
Okay, cool, thank you.
A sessile
What if we just, interact with them until we found out what they did?
Yeah,
That's the thought.
that would have been interesting.
Yes.
But someone might have not experienced all the super cool sci-fi nonsense they made up.
Oh, darn. That would have been the worst.
I mean, clearly this guy is much more interested in hypothetical Martian flora.
I have
And
received another transmission from
making a
Octo Hardware.
good, fun game.
Here is the image from the camera module.
Yeah, there is a horror aspect to this game. I wish it wasn't taking so long getting to it.
Agreed.
Could they? I know they all point upwards like stalagmites.
Please note this scale reference. It is likely this is a fighter.
Then these are very large structures. Fascinating. Please indicate the location of this signal on my map, Art.
Come on, I need these seeds. I super want these seeds. You promised me I can make infinite seeds now. Moving on. I need a water plant, apparently.
Yeah, but now you can't make it grow. You don't have the seeds. You blew it. You ruined
blew it.
everything.
And that is how you make a game unwinnable. Is there a water guy? Water guy?
More seeds, maybe?
Yeah, there's a water guy.
Oh, there we go. Looks like I got one already.
Yeah, I've got one. I can make another down there.
This is such a boring way to let you interact with the world.
Yeah, it really is. Throwing seeds around, waiting for things to spawn. Throwing more seeds, it's just so uninspired in every respect.
I mean, you could have a decent puzzle-based Metroidvania game, but not like this.
This isn't even a puzzle though, it's just menial labor.
You're right, yeah. I mean, there's nothing really that you have to solve, I guess. It's just, you follow the pattern, you just do it.
Right. Yeah, they clearly label where you place the plants, and you just do it. Exactly like you said.
Yeah, when you look at it that way, I mean, there's really no exploration to this game. You're not really finding anything. You're not solving anything. You're just following a path, and then working to get to the next part of it.
It's all one clearly labeled path that the game is more than happy to interrupt itself to explain to you.
Yeah, at that point you're like, which is the worst interruption, the story or the actual game?
Right. Yeah, because I'm completely checked out of both already. Oh, hey.
Whoa.
Something's happening. I can chase these guys around. Be gone, foul creatures. Back to the depths with you.
So apparently they're not actually going to try to kill you. That's kind of disappointing.
Nah. Am I like hurting these guys? What's my motivation here?
I don't know. I probably want to hurt them somewhere.
No, I'm just gonna leave.
Attention! The prior observation regarding organic matter is...
Whoa, we were wrong
Despite an
about a
extensive period
thing.
of inactivity, this previously unknown life form of Mars is able to exhibit measurable livelihood.
Art, do you have any settings to control the frequency
We quitting?
of the dialogue?
No, not yet.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm
I am
rearranging
currently
windows.
in Normal.
Oh, I see.
There is also verbose and terse.
Please don't go to verbose.
He's like, oh, this is not verbose. It's like, damn, just give us our damn seed.
I know. Give me a knife or something, I'll cut them out.
That would be pretty satisfying.
Oh, I love that. There's gotta be more types of seeds coming. But even then, the seed beds are color coded. So why bother?
Well, right now you have 8 seeds.
Yeah. I guess I will say the jetpack stuff is kind of nice. It controls smoothly.
Yeah.
It's the interest of saying one nice thing about this game. Yep, those guys. Alright, I've got to grow more plants before they let me leave.
Now he's got to find where. That's the big mystery to solve. Where is the plant?
Plant go. I'm maxed out on seeds. Can I like... Huh.
Oh.
That's new. I grow a seed on him and ruin his day. He made a thing for me. Alright.
Can you pick it up and or interact with it anyway?
Not yet. Oh, they make eggs and spawn more of themselves.
Wow. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not.
I'm not super happy about it.
Fertile terrains in this chamber to open the cerebrae.
You know, I just figured out what I need to
Another
do.
way to raise biomass.
Oh, so you need to raise biomass, so you need to make more of these guys.
Yeah, I have to grow more of them.
Feed
Feed them some seeds, they'll reproduce. And right before they stopped to tell me that, I noticed the biomass went up when the egg hatched. Because I have played a video game before.
What?
I know it's a weird thing to happen to someone.
Yeah. Well, see, like the way you could have, made this work without dialogue is, of course, you have your biomass meter up there. But if that wasn't enough, after you fed the first one, you might have heard the game rumble a little bit, or notice that the wall there was a different color.
Right, something like that.
and you would introduce this concept in a smaller room where it'll be obvious that something's happening.
Yeah.
Instead of having you feed them in somewhere way off screen.
Right, like a seed falls from the ceiling onto one of those guys, and they spawn a new egg.
Yeah.
Also, is this the classification?
And you see the egg causes the door to open. You're like, oh, okay, so that's a thing.
Yep.
You go to the next room where that's the puzzle to solve, and you go, okay, well, I know how to solve this now.
That would be much better game design.
Caves. That is all.
Inquiry is resolved.
There's one axiom that I've noticed in the genre, Metroidvania genre, which is you are never stuck. If you're playing a Metroidvania game, you're not stuck. There's a way out. You just have to observe the environment and see the way out.
Right.
And they could have used that principle, like you said, lock you in a room with a thing with the seed, and you will find out that you are not actually stuck there.
Yeah.
This is a new color. Nope. No, it's not a new color.
Scanning.
Oh, yellow seeds. What can I do with the yellow seeds?
Life form of Mars. Inside it. Alert. Scan. See the research log for more data.
Okay, so you can plant these somewhere now. Yay.
But where?
I don't know. Do you get these yellow patches?
How could I ever think of that?
I don't know, but watch it.
Maybe.
Once you do it, it's going to give you some dialogue.
Yeah.
Alert! It appears that when you plant the yellow seeds and the yellow patches, something happens.
There's a 87% chance those things appreciate being planted. Fertile ground.
What do they actually do? How do you interact with them now? I mean, now we just plant yellow ones. Do they do something special?
They give me yellow seeds, as far as they actually do attack me. Okay, so
Oh, they're dangerous.
they have become obstacles to my progress. Well,
I mean, I guess it is sort of neat that have it all tied together by having it where your goal is to raise life forms in a certain area.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have a whole lot going for it, but that is one neat thing we can say about it.
Yeah, I can give it that. These guys are not nearly aggressive enough to make this interesting.
Yeah, mostly it's just annoyance if you happen to be needing to stand in one place where they're at.
Yeah. Ooh, I hear heavy breathing.
Uh-oh. Sorry, that was me.
Thinking about chicken tenders again?
Man, I just can't stop.
Praxoa are the most dangerous life forms.
That reminds me, this will be kind of timely since we'll be releasing on Mother's Day.
Yep.
KFC recently released a steamy romance novel about Colonel Sanders romancing, from what I read, I haven't actually read the book yet, a young runaway teenage bride.
How did that get past the censors?
I don't know. Like, it just seems so wrong.
Yeah.
I was planning on reading it, but it's available on Amazon. It's for free, but I guess I haven't had a chance to go download it, look at it.
How long is this thing?
It just sounds so terrible that, I just have to kind of look at it.
Yeah, it's hard not to be curious. So I made some of these guys somehow.
Okay, here we go. It's called The Tender Wings of Desire.
I am on board with that title. I am as on board as I've ever been.
Let me see if I can find a good excerpt from the sample in here.
So I guess I fed him a creature and he spat out seeds for himself.
Oh, I have to have my Kindle Unlimited to read it. Otherwise, I have to pay for it.
Not truly free at all.
It's crazy.
KFC, how could you? Oh, these animations are so stiff. Alright, I think we've seen enough. This game.
All right, sorry, Mars. You are not being woke.
Mars, yeah. You had your opportunity to get woke. You squandered it. I gave them a great opportunity to get woke in the very beginning of the episode.
Yeah, we played it long enough for the game to get interesting, and it just didn't do it. It had this big moment where everything got to sink down to the ground. You're like, okay, maybe this is gonna be all worth it, and then no, it wasn't worth it.
Nothing at all. We got some obstacles. They weren't that intriguing. I am gonna go on a limb and say that this is the most boring game we've ever played on this show.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, we played some real stinkers over time. But I feel like most of those stinkers still had something redeeming to at least make fun of. This one, this was just a struggle to find something to even make fun of. Does that dull?
Right. So I'm pulling up the Gamehater playlist. Early on, there was Starseed Pilgrim, where we just had no clue what was going on. But still, the mystery of what was going on was present.
Well, yeah, and then just random things happening. It was sort of funny because we completely had no idea what's going on. Plus, it was a funny episode because you went insane by just talking to yourself the entire time.
Oh yes, there was that. The old sound issues. Outland was a pretty boring game. Not this boring. There were things to do in it.
Camera Obscura was kind of boring too, but it was at least more of an interesting platformer.
Yeah, that one had an interesting concept that I thought, as I recall, we thought was executed poorly.
Right.
And puzzle games, even a puzzle game gives you some level of intellectual stimulation.
Yeah, because I mean, even if we were like when they were playing those games, we were actually trying to communicate, trying to figure out how to solve those puzzles. Whereas this game, the puzzles were just so obvious. It was like we almost had nothing to talk about the entire time. We ended up talking about KFC for heaven's sake.
Can't even call them puzzles, really. I mean, is it a puzzle to carry a seed, put it down at the designated seed putting down spot?
Yeah, at that point, it's like, is it? What do you even call this game? Because it's not, a traditional, platformer, and you're not really exploring that much as you would in an actual Metroidvania game.
Oh.
And so it's like, what even is this game when you're just, dropping these seeds and waiting for something to happen because you're not solving anything. You're just doing things.
I mean, is this game really being marketed as much? I had on the list of Metroidvania-like games. Someone thought it was Metroidvania. But I don't see how it qualifies.
Let's see here. It's not listed as a Metroidvania as a genre on Steam.
No, that's appropriate. Yeah, if you do a Google search for Waking Mars Metroidvania, you get people referring to it as such.
Right. Well, even if you go onto Google, on Google's actual profile for it, it does list it as a Metroidvania, though.
Oh, on the yeah. But
so somewhere it is listed as one.
Yeah, and maybe at the end of this month we should do some kind of wrap up on what it takes to be a Metroidvania at all and what makes a good one. And
establish the laws of Metroidvanias.
Yeah, exactly. I don't see how this one qualifies. I mean, you're picking up seeds and getting new abilities by picking up seeds, but I don't feel like I earned a single one of them. I just walked across a linear route until the game gave them to me. And even like a Metroidvania, when it's being linear, it usually doesn't feel linear. There's always distractions and dead ends.
Right. And you have to, in a real Metroidvania, you need to backtrack sometimes. Like this game had the ability to backtrack, but I didn't see a point to it.
No, the one time we backtracked was
for the story.
For the story. The story demanded it. And yeah, the constant interruptions with the chatters or well, I'm sure the developers thought they served a purpose, but
we got to a point where we're like, we couldn't decide, what was the more annoying interruption, actually playing the game or just listening to the story.
Yeah, and I
got to the point where it almost been like, just preferable just listen to the story and just turn the game off.
Yeah, but even the story was so boring too.
Yeah.
Tedious quest to find a missing drone, and oh yeah, there's some seeds. Yeah.
It's like if you're gonna put so much into the story, you need to make your characters interesting and give us a reason to care about them, which is just basic storytelling in general, right there.
Yeah.
Which is not usually what we're here to criticize, is story stuff, except for when it's too tedious. But if you're gonna tell a story, make it a good story so we're interested in it.
Yeah, absolutely. You like you said, interesting characters, make the dialogue go by quicker. I don't know. I don't even know where to start trying to help this game.
Yeah, this isn't one of those games where I'm even frustrated where, because I'm like, wow, this game has so much potential. Like, no, there's not really any potential here. There's nothing.
Yeah.
It's pretty. That's about it.
Yeah, and that's something we like to do. We like to go into these games, figure out what's good about it, and then, make a snap decision. And of course, it's just two guys who play a lot of games who have opinions. We're not expert designers. We're not consultants. We just have some sense of what kind of games we like, and we can see aspects of games we don't like that could be fleshed out in ways that would make us like them. That's really all we're saying. And there's nothing to latch onto in this game.
Right.
I
even looked for things as we were playing, to sort of give it praise, to give it some props. And aside from going, oh, this bioform thing is sort of neat, there was really nothing. There was nothing at all.
No. I mean, the voice acting was okay. Liang had a really dull presentation, but I think that was on purpose. The soundtracks, I can dig the soundtrack. It's kind of a moody, upbeat, spacey kind of stuff,
which is appropriate,
right? But I mean, a sweet soundtrack, and this isn't even that sweet. It's not going to win me over. I'm not going to play a game just so I can hear the next song. Environments look okay, but I can already tell they're getting very samey. And what are you going to do? You're on Mars,
right? It's
Red Rock all the way down. Animations are incredibly limited. Character models are pretty low integrity.
Yeah, it looked like even the gameplay, I wasn't the one playing it, but it looked like it wasn't particularly good, just sort of clunky. Throwing stuff didn't seem very precise.
Yeah, I don't know how much of that was me trying to throw things from too far away or something, but
when you're doing that much multitasking, you kind of want to be able to throw things from far away and not have to get close.
Right, you want to speed through things, just pop a few seeds out and move on with your life. I didn't ever get frustrated by the controls. But
yeah, it's not necessarily that they're bad controls, just they just didn't seem very interesting, something that you just enjoy moving around in it.
Agreed. Yeah.
You have a game I always come back to Mario, and I know it's kind of generic, but you play Mario, and it's just fun to move around as him.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
you just get a kick out of it.
Yep.
And that's the kind of character you want to play, or Jump Jet Rex. It's just fun playing as Jump Jet and moving him around.
Yeah, just screwing around on the title screen with Jump Jet Rex is a really good time. Yeah, I've got this jetpack, and the jetpack I moved around. But it wasn't particularly fun. It was serviceable.
Right. Yeah, so I think honestly we said everything we can about this game.
I think we're at the end.
Yeah. Which really just leaves our final ratings. Yeah, I'm gonna give it 2 middle fingers up. I can't even. I am so drained from this game that I can't even think of a funny thing to put at the end about how much I hate it. Now just straight up 2 middle fingers.
I'm not even convinced I want to take the effort to raise a middle finger in honor of this game, honestly. I'm not even that inspired, but I'll do it. I will plant the seed of a middle finger in my fist and slowly watch it grow.
Okay, that sounds fair to me.
Yeah, and contrary to the title of this game, Waking Mars, we hate this game and we're going to bed. Good night.
Good night.